Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Disney Parks Podcast. Disney Parks Podcast is your source for Disney Parks news and information from the Disney Parks around the globe, including in-depth interviews with your favorite Disney correspondents and so much more. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Parkhopper Sid, and I come to you from www.parkhoppers.com and teamparkhoppers.com. As always, we are joined by the ever-adorable Krista Joy from DisneyWays.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
And the ever-lovable, ever-huggable Mr. Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com.
Hello, Musketeers.
Hi, this is Mike Brassell, voice of the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. As we approach the Tomorrowland Transit Authority station, our Grand Circle tour is coming to an end, but not to a stop, because you're listening to Tony, Sid, and Krista on the Disney Parks Podcast.
You may recognize our guest today as the voice of the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover in the Magic Kingdom, or as the voice you hear as you relax and enjoy the boat ride through the Living with the Land attraction at Epcot. You may also be surprised to learn that he has actually done a lot of additional work for Disney movies and more. A seasonal musical composer, double Emmy winner, and now nominated for another in 2013. He's a family man and an all-around great guy, Mike Brassell. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Or job B?
Well, that's a great question. There's so many attractions to voice in the park, but I think I've got one picked out. And if I could do another voice, I would love to do Spaceship Earth.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I can see you doing that, too. Or I guess hear you.
That was nice. What a fantastic attraction. I enjoy it. I have a great time. Every time I'm there, just riding in it and experiencing it, I would love to be a part of that.
Have you been back, Mike, since they changed it over where you're a little cartoon head at the end?
I don't know if I have been back.
Yeah, it's kind of new. It's like a new. I hope I didn't spoil it for you, but.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's a new little surprise ending, so it's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
I don't know, but you'd be going up against Dame Judi Dench.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's correct. No, she does a fantastic job. She's fantastic, of course. But that would be my dream job, were it to be offered.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you have a favorite? Because that's had a couple of different narratives, Mike. Do you have a favorite that, like Walter Concrete or Gary Sinise or?
Yeah, Sinise is fantastic, man. It was a surprise to find out who, celebrity-wise, had done voices, and I didn't know why I didn't recognize them. But yeah, it's amazing to hear their voices. When you hear them, wow, that is just quality right there. Yeah. It's amazing to hear those guys.
Yeah, I think probably one of the, I said this to some other people I've been on, but I think one of the most overlooked thing is, some of the people behind the attraction that are doing the voices and the narration. You're not always paying attention to, the time and effort that has to go into, putting out that quality product. Yeah.
Yes, and Disney's pretty strict with their standards as well. But it means really that we've done our job. If you didn't know you were being spoken to or being presented information. Of course, people enjoy the voices, but our job is to sort of be in the background and sort of take you through a story, a journey.
Yeah. We know you do a lot of composing as well. Do you have any great composing projects that you're working on, or anything? Do you like composing more than the voiceover? Do you like producing the music?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish. I apologize.
No, I'm good.
Well, I love music. That was my first love. I say it past tense because, of course, I love voiceover as well. But I had that in my head ever since I was 7 years old, music. And I remember it very clearly. I was at my grandmother's house. We were being watched, my four other brothers and I, just during a summer break. My parents had to drop us off, so we weren't latchkey. And we ended up playing on my grandmother's piano for the longest time. And it just at one time, at one sitting, if you will, one session, it just got into me. I don't know how, but it was like electricity. It was amazing. And I knew that I had to have this thing in my life forever from that day. So I had that in my head as a strict, streamlined focus. And right after high school, I bolted out to California to go live the dream, in quotes, if you will. And I had managed to make a lot of relationships and get a lot of experience and record albums and songwrite and produce and even score films. I got to tell you, I had a fantastic time doing that. One of note that I really appreciate is Dream On Silly Dreamer. I'm not sure if you guys know of that short film directed by Dan Lund and Tony West, but that has everything to do with Disney's rise and fall in the animation world. It's a wonderful short film. I scored it with a partner of mine, Kuno Schmid, a German composer, and we tried to harken back to the Sherman Brothers days of Disney. Not so much the piano stuff, but the really orchestrated, lots of strings type of scores. Check it out when you get a chance. DreamOnSillyDreamer.com.
Now, I apologize, I don't know this. Was this a movie you did for Disney?
No, we did this about Disney with Roy's blessing.
Oh. Now, have you composed any music for Disney?
Yes, I have. Lots
and lots.
Lots and lots, and that's all the information we get.
No, I wish I could say lots and lots. I want to. Maybe you guys can help in that. But I got to tell you, a terribly exciting thing for me, and I mean this, and this was something I actually called home about, and I'm not joking. I picked up the phone, so excited. I called my mom. Mom, I've never done that before with the projects I've worked on, but this one I did. I had to, because it was an epitome of things that I had worked on. It was the merging, almost literally, of voice and music, and I'll get to that story right here. It was when I called my mom and said, Mom, you won't believe this, but I have been able to do voices for Disney parks. And she was very excited about that. I was like, yes, but the last one I've gotten, the most recent one, was Tomorrowland Transit Authority. And she was excited about that. I said, but check this out, Mom. This is why I'm calling. Outside of saying I love you and thank you for raising me, I wanted to let you know that your son, who's narrating the TTA, that attraction goes through Space Mountain, which I composed for Florida. So there's a merging of my creative abilities, which I'm so thankful for. You get to listen through the TTA as you hear the music that I've written for Space Mountain down there. I've called that piece of music Mount Bop. And I am so proud to be able to say that I've done that. So honored that they asked me to do that. I can't tell you. I just feel so blessed to be able to do that, to be in the circles of Michael Giacchino, who did the one in California. Now, the one that I wrote is more free form. It is not. It's not absolutely composed to any particular movement in the track, simply because that's not the way they arranged it. But I'm so proud to have that happen.
Okay,
That's
I have to tell you, I love that music. The music makes the ride. And then there's that whole section where you go through the tunnel, and between the music and the red lights, and then my husband and I actually add let's say a little scat piece to it that we do every time we go through. We love it because the music really, it's something that's fantastic to build upon and make it your own when you're going through there. And we have a little dance and everything. You'd laugh.
You're kidding. You know what? In the composing or the composition of that particular piece, I got to tell you, I was trying to throw everything in there. They came at me with direction. All right, Mike, we want it to kind of sound like this. Can you do this? I'm like, yeah. And so I threw some stuff in there, and they're like, okay, that's all right. So I started to massage it a little more, and I said, hey, now wait a minute. What if I put like a little whoop whoop? Would they like that or would they hate it? So I threw it in there. They didn't say anything at all. And I even put a vocoded Space Mountain, like a robot voice, Space Mountain. I even did that for them. And they never rejected it. I was like, hey, you know what? This is cool. So I was very, very pleased to be able to just kind of, they let me go. And I was able to write this thing. And I'm very, very proud of how it came out. So I'm happy. I'm excited that they allowed me to do that. It was exciting.
Well, you have fans. You have fans for that music right here.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was fun.
I wonder, that's very special that you're actually your voiceover is on the ride and then you ride through Space Mountain where you've composed the music. I bet you're the only person that can say anything like that has happened in their career. That's really, really cool.
You know, I have to agree with you. It is so special to be able to do that. I mean, here I am, a guy from Ohio. You know, I just a small town, and I can't imagine being blessed to be able to have this opportunity. So I got to tell you, I'm nothing but unbelievably thankful.
Okay, I have to ask. I'm going to interrupt. What part of Ohio?
The northwestern part. I was born in Lima and raised in Bluffton.
I'm from Euclid, and all my husband's family is in Worcester.
No, come on. It's amazing. I love it. It's a small world. Don't get me singing now.
Oh, come on, please. Will you please break into song for us?
It's a small world after all. That's all I get.
Yay!
Is there anything this man can't do?
Oh, yeah, tons. Ask my wife. I've got a big list of things I haven't been able to accomplish yet.
Okay, well, yeah, but, dishes and recocking the bathtub, and that doesn't count. That's not important.
Yeah, right?
Well, let's go on another area here, and let's talk about your work with Disney feature animation. Can you tell me, we'll go into the ones that you've actually been involved with, but what would your dream job be in a Disney movie? Not necessarily voicing, but overall, what would you like to do the most?
Well, what dream job for a Disney movie? That is a good question. That's a stumper. I don't know. I truly don't know. Maybe to produce or to write or to direct. Everyone likes to do that as well. But their process is fantastic. I mean, I'd love that. They are all about story, so they won't allow something that doesn't resonate with their audience to come through. I really appreciate that about that. They're a machine, but well-oiled. They understand that they've been doing it for a while and have achieved, I guess you could say, some success. Wink, wink. With that, so I would love to just be a part of it in any way. Truly, and that's sort of a cop-out answer, but yes, I enjoy my time there, I guess I should say.
Oh, I think Krista has a way to get some details out of you. Don't you have a list, Krista?
Yeah, well, I have a list that I understand you're part of. You'll have to confirm for us, and also let our listeners know, like, if they can see you or hear you in each movie. If you'll just tell us kind of what scene or whatever. I guess if you want to, do you want to start with Brother Bear?
Yes. Now, I didn't do too much with Brother Bear. I mean, I was on the entire show, but I didn't do too much myself in that movie except assistant production manage. That's what I did. So I handled the back end, which is the computer animation production system. I did that with a team of managers, and we basically made sure that the paper artwork got scanned in. From there, it got colored, inked, painted, sent out to processing. When it got brought back to us, we called the directors and we showed them the final color version without sound, and they approved it, and then we actually cut it in to the film, and then we archived all that paper footage and the data as well. So that's really kind of what I did. It wasn't too creative for me, but it was still fun.
Essential, very essential.
Yes.
Still, that's very important.
Yeah. Mike, was Brother Bear done down here in Florida?
It was.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It was
You realize
fun.
you started that description with, I really didn't do very much.
Yeah.
And then gave us a 4.5-minute list of what you oversaw.
He's so humble.
That's funny.
And then what about Tarzan?
Yeah, Tarzan was fun. I mean, I loved Tarzan. And I'll tell you, I worked on Tarzan to train for my role in Florida. That's what that was for me. And I got a chance to work in the Hat Building. I'm not sure if you know that, but right out there, of course, on the 134 freeway is the Disney Feature Animation Building. And I didn't work at that building when I first started. I worked at what they call the Skunk Works building, which is a couple miles away in Burbank, where they built the SR-71, or at least they planned it there. And Feature Animation took it over a while back when I first started, and I think that was in '95. No, 97 is when I started there. But see, now I lost my train of thought here. I'm yakking too much. I lost it. Can you remind
Oh,
me?
that's okay.
The hat
Tarzan.
building,
Thank you.
Tarzan.
The hat building. Sorry. Thank you. So I got a chance to work in the hat building, which was Roy's office. He was never there, but it was cool that that hat itself was Roy's office. I thought that was very, very cool. So I got a chance to work on Tarzan again. It was assistant production managing, but that's the only movie that I never actually had a credit on, even though I worked the entire thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, because they never actually hired me on. How do I want to say this? They have a crew list, and I was never on that crew list because they knew I was in training to go to another film. But I worked on the entire thing, and it was wonderful.
Well, there you have it. I'm glad you were able to share it with us today, at least. So
Well,
that's
thank
good.
you.
Okay, how about Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast. You know what? What was so fantastic about that one? Because I worked on the reinsertion of Alan Menken's song "Human Again." So what I got to see was absolutely incredible. For a somewhat Disney file for me, it turned me into a true Disney file once I got a chance to know what was happening. And I'll be very clear here. They had gone to the Animation Research Library and requested the original artwork. And there were some people on that on the show that worked on Human Again that had worked on the original as well. So to be able to actually touch and see the original, Beast artwork and Belle artwork. It was absolutely amazing. We had to be super careful and all that stuff when we were shooting it, when they were inserting these new shots. That was something to see, I got to tell you. It was amazing.
Wow, that sounds awesome. And how about Atlantis?
Atlantis, I didn't touch too much of, but this is one of 4 films that I'm actually in. And when I say in, I kind of say it in quotes, but my kids, this is another thing my kids love to talk about. Can I tell you the story real quick?
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I am at Feature Animation, like I said, coming from Ohio. So I'm just blown away by everything that I see. These animators are stars. I mean, they're amazing, and they're nice people to boot. Who could imagine? So I'm walking around doing my job. I'm a PA at the time, so I'm doing whatever it is they need me to do. I get called into an animator's office, and this is around lunchtime. No one's really around. And so I go in, and his name is Ron Husband, great animator, and he asks me to sit down in his chair. And so I do. I just take a seat, and he said, "Hey, here, hold this." And it's a bowl. It's, I think, like a Chinese bowl or bowl for rice. And then he handed me chopsticks, and he said, "Stay still." So he sort of posed me, like moved my hands into a particular position, and he starts to draw. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" He goes, "Don't worry about it, just stay still." And so I'm freaking out. I don't know it. I've never posed before. I've seen these guys do this stuff. It was the coolest thing in the world. So he says he's done after a little while, and I go, "Okay, cool. What are you going to do?" He goes, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." So I said, "All right," and I walk away, and I don't know how many weeks later it was, but he comes back to me and he shows me what he was doing, and it was a model sheet for Dr. Sweet. He goes, "I was going to see if I could get your visage approved for Dr. Sweet," and he did.
Get out of here.
Wow.
So I guess I'm Dr. Sweet, if you will. I mean, I'm not really. The actor is Phil Morris, but and they sort of made it look a little like him as well, like they're supposed to. But that's me. I posed for the original character model for Dr. Sweet.
Very cool.
That's very cool, and that's kind of how I worked on Atlantis.
This is so fun. Thank you for going through all these with me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You kidding?
Oh, please tell me you have more, Krista.
There's more.
Yay.
John Henry.
John Henry. Okay, that was one of the first films I worked on when I got down to Florida, and that was a fun film. That was very enjoyable, and the reason why was because the art style of that film was something different than the artists were prepared for. So it was really cool to see everybody kind of dig in and get into their creativity and bring this thing to life. It was amazing to see that one. Now, I'm in that one as well. At this time, I'm in that one as myself. I am the preacher with the glasses that married John and Polly in the beginning. I just throw my hands up with I think I got a Bible in my hand, and I just throw my hands up, and they get married, and I think the thing shatters, the glass shatters at the end. But look for that one.
There you have it. We'll look for that one.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And how about Emperor's New Groove?
Okay, now this is right after Beauty and the Beast, Human Again. Once we were done with that, they sort of sent everyone everywhere else to start working on the next films. I got sent to Kingdom of the Sun, it was called, as a matter of fact, when I got on it. And that was from a previous director that I had worked with when I initially got into animation, and that was Cats Don't Dance. I started there from Turner Feature Animation in '95. And so the director was Mark Dendel. And so I got sent over to his film, which was Kingdom of the Sun. As a matter of fact, it was being co-directed at the time. So I get over there and I'm starting to shoot scenes and do the stuff that I'm supposed to do normally for production management. And they call me back and say, hey, you know what? We're having script problems. So we're going to need to go back into development. And we're therefore not going to be working or going forward with the film. And that's when it became Emperor's New Groove. And I wasn't on it anymore. I had gone to Tarzan.
Aww.
Yeah.
All right. Goofy's How to Haunt a House.
Yeah, now that was a fantastic show to work on. That came, I think, right between, if I have my order right, I think it was John Henry first, and then Goofy, How to Haunt a House. So we were trying to fill some time and keep the artists working there in Florida, which was a fantastic show. I had never gotten a chance to work on one of the classic characters, so to be able to work on that was just it was fantastic. I mean, it was wonderful. It was so much. It's Goofy. Yeah, how can you not like Goofy? You know, you got to be Goofy. So it was wonderful to be able to do that. But I did nothing but production manage on that one. It was fun.
Is Goofy still your favorite character?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I love it. He's fantastic. He's just not assuming. He trusts everyone. I just love his heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good guy. You just can't
He's
go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one last one, and then you can tell me what I missed, because I'm sure I missed some. But I also have Fantasia. What do you do on there?
Okay, Fantasia, mind blown again. I mean, honestly, to be able to work on this piece was amazing, simply because of what came before it, and like I said to you, very much so, Walt's Dream. I'm very tied into. I just love people with vision. I absolutely love that, and to sort of pull from deep from within this vision and have other people see it, have other people work on it until it comes to this thing that you couldn't have even imagined it was going to grow to. So that was fantastic to be able to start on that project. And really the piece de resistance for me is getting to see Roy. That was an amazing, I couldn't tell you. I know I keep saying that, but I was trying to, I guess, get you to understand how awesome it was to see this man walk down the hallway that looked just like Walt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Say, hi, Mike. How you doing? He'll call you by name, and he wanted you to call him Roy. You couldn't call him Mr. Disney. It was amazing how they kept that even for him. And one of the coolest things for me was walking to a screening one day. And I don't even know how this happened. We were all going, all of our departments, and I found myself between Michael Eisner and Roy Disney. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
We were all just walking in the theater, and I was like, what is happening? I was like, I should not be here.
Oh.
But I enjoyed every second of it. So I should tell you, I'm in Rhapsody in Blue. Now, I'm the African-American character riding on the subway. If you get a chance to watch that particular piece, I'm in a black suit. And Eric Goldberg, I'm sorry, he did that for me. And what a huge honor that was. And the only reason why I know that is because his wife said, she came up to me, she said, Mike, did you get a chance to see Rhapsody in Blue? And I said, no. She goes, did you see yourself? I said, what? She goes, yeah, come here. I'll show you. So she brought me into her office and showed me the scene. I was like, are you kidding me? She goes, no, yeah, that's you. And the reason why I want to tell you this is because Eric Goldberg, and I always tell everyone what I do. I tell them I do voiceovers and I do music. And so I told everyone there when I was working there that I did that. I got called into Eric Goldberg's office one day. And by the way, Eric is the animator for Disney's The Aladdin, the genie character. And he's done a whole lot more. It's unbelievable. So he called me into his office, and he says, Mike, I heard that you write music. Is that correct? I said, yes, it is. And he goes, okay. And he pulls out some paper, and it's 5 songs, and it's 5 lyric sheets. He goes, Mike, I'm going to pitch a movie, and I'd like for you to write music to these songs, and you and I can both sing them. I was like, are you okay? Okay. So you don't say no to Eric Goldberg. I went away and started writing songs, and I came back and I showed them to him. He approved them. He actually sang on some of them. I sang on some of them, and we pitched it. Eric did. I wasn't part of the pitch, but he pitched it, and it was well received. And that movie was The Frog Prince. It was his version of The Frog Prince. I'm not sure if that actually became what is now Princess and the Frog, but they bought our songs, and that was a huge boost for me. I felt so thrilled and honored to be able to do that, and that's why I mentioned Eric Goldberg, because I worked with him on Fantasia. Wonderful man.
Wow, such great stories. Oh my goodness.
Mike, it sounds like you were, working at Disney at the height of their animation frenzy when everything was really clicking for Disney. I know, you mentioned Roy. I know Roy was, kind of instrumental of trying to bring some computer animation to Disney at the time. He was trying to, maybe rather than hand draw everything, that computers could assist, the animators in, kind of speeding up that process. Were you involved with any of that, or do you, was that? Am I maybe a little bit wrong in the timeline?
You know what? There's a couple of different instances that I think you're referring to.
Okay.
The first is Caps. That's what was developed by Disney for their back end production, which actually won. It won a Grammy. What did it win? An Oscar? It won something.
I think
it was
won
amazing.
An Oscar for technical achievement or something.
Yes, that's what I loved so much about the Disney company, just being technologically, I can't even say that word, technologically advanced.
Right.
They certainly did strive to do that. But then also, while I was there, Fantasia specifically, a couple floors up, there was another digital studio being put in, and they were working on CG films or 3D films. This was before they purchased Pixar.
Right, yeah.
So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you were really, Eisner was there, Roy was still there. It was really the height of the golden era of animation for Disney, really.
Truly, and I think we were lucky enough, my wife and I, to catch the tail end of that. That's when it started to sort of go into decline because of the other studios coming out and releasing, their movies. And I know everyone knows how that goes, but we managed to go to the Milan premiere, and that was nothing short of mind-blowing. We had never seen that sort of lavish display of I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
It was amazing to be a part of that. I mean, wow. Wow, what an honor. So I got a chance to see just the tail end of that. And if you'll check out, like I said, and I hate to keep plugging this, but Dream on Silly Dreamer will really sort of touch on all that you're talking about sort of what the animators, how they used to be treated, how they used to, what they used to get as their bonuses and things like that. I was never part of that whole thing, but we got a chance to see the tail end, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll definitely put a link in the show notes to that as well.
Thank you.
Well, Mike, can you tell us, what is your favorite Disney film? And, of course, you're going to have to tell us why. But whether it's a movie you worked on or not, what is your favorite Disney movie?
Okay. I got to say my favorite Disney film is The Lion King. It's got to be The Lion King.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Good choice.
And why?
Well, I really enjoy the story of redemption, of being able to come back and be accepted into the fold after you go away, make some mistakes and learn some lessons. You come back a renewed, refreshed, more experienced individual, and then you're able to make more decisions, more wise decisions, maybe filled with more clarity than you would have had in your youthful days.
Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to see either Lion King on Broadway